Part 2 of working on my giant wooden fidget spinner. So at the end of the last video, I'd basically finished the 2 long pieces, so now it was time to start the X piece. This process was pretty similar to the first 2. I grabbed my wood and glued it all together with a lot of wood glue and clamps. This one was trickier though because of its size. There wasn't any poplar wood big enough for the shape to come from a single slab, so I had to piece it together using different sizes. Kind of like woodworking Tetris. I glued the pieces, not just stacked, but side by side too. I was a little worried about not having enough clamps to get everything flush, but thankfully it dried pretty even overall. Then I used my giant paper pattern to trace out the X and cut it with a bandsaw. And I actually filmed it this time, so you're welcome. This shape was a pain to cut out because of all the tight curves. If you've never used a big bandsaw, the blade can snap if you twist it too much, so I had to make a bunch of small, indirect cuts to get the final shape out. The bandsaw I used couldn't adjust in height, so I wasn't able to do the side depth cuts like I did for the long pieces. That meant I'd have to hand carve all the shape and curvature on this one, raising the chances of it being hella asymmetrical. But I was determined to get it as symmetrical as humanly possible. I don't even know how many hours I spent chiseling and shaping it with the Merlin. At least a week and a half of walking away every day covered in sawdust. I was so over it by the end. And even though I'm usually pretty strict about PPE, I couldn't find my safety glasses one day, and shocker, I gave myself a mild corneal abrasion from wood debris flying into my eyes. Lesson learned. After what felt like forever, I finally carved out the general shape of the X. The last major structural thing was to carve out indentations on the top and bottom of the X so I could attach the 2 long pieces. I tried using a rotary sander for this, but it couldn't reach the area, so I had to carve it by hand too. Nothing the Merlin, a flex shaft, and a metal file couldn't handle though. Once I was happy with how everything fit together, I used Bondo wood filler, which is resin based, to fill in the little gaps left from the original long pieces. It's weird stuff to work with. You have to wait till it's like 3/4 cured before you can sand it, but it does the job. It smells awful though, and I hate using it for that reason. Finally, before coloring and assembling, I sanded all the pieces as smooth as humanly possible. I'm talking 6 hours straight, 60 grit, all the way up to 5,000 grit. By the end, the wood was literally reflecting light, even without any finish. I gave everything a few coats of shellac for now, just to seal it before I move on to the stronger polyurethane top coat and the part that I'm most excited for, painting and assembly. I'm honestly really proud of how this is turning out. It's definitely been a labor of love. Anyways, if you want to see how this guy turns out at the end, stick around. I'm so glad that I'm finally done with